as we believe you possess the quality of leadership and the esteem and confidence of your fellow members. Keep smiling. You have served Rotary and the club with distinction in a commendable manner, and you have working knowledge of the Constitution, the bylaws of the club, and the objects of the Rotary. You have attended the President-elect training seminar, and the District Assembly as required in preparation for your term in office. You have undertaken to give all your time and effort necessary to lead and carry on the work of the club in a meaningful and dignified manner. The members of the Rotary Club of North Melbourne pledge to you their support and loyalty during the year as we together have all strived to achieve the ideals of Rotary service. I now have pleasure in presenting you with your President label badge. I think you can leave the passport and walk up. Now you got your badge. Now
this is the badge. This is the badge.
This badge, okay. Neville, it's a great honour to present you with the jewels of the President of Rotary North Melbourne.
Can you do a pose for us? Can you do a pose? And a shut, that's it. That's it. That's it. Beautiful.
Now that I've become a feather duster, I'll take my leave and sit down. Neville, take it away.
Attention all. Could you please be upstanding and welcome. Please be up, give them a round of applause and congratulations to the newest president of the Rotary Club of North Melbourne and the District 9800. Well deserved, Neville. So I'll hand over to you to respond to this applause. Well deserved.
Thank you, James. I'll go through my speech and try and cut out the bits that I've already covered. But I do have to start by thanking everyone that's attending and in attendance and watching on Zoom. All these changing restrictions that have occurred since the invitation that made it fairly a stressful period in the organising, and it was unfortunate that we did lose a couple off the list even yesterday that live in Ascot Vale. Anyhow, it's still great to have the ongoing support of everyone, and I'm going to need it during the year. I'll just need to skip out on a bit. I've done the bit where I thank James, so you don't get thanked again. Now, we are not starting our new Rotary year the way we had planned, but 2021 is the centenary of Rotary in Australia, and we have to adapt and give this historic occasion its due. But even more importantly, we have to keep serving the community as best we can because there is still so much that needs doing. Before I start on what I'm planning for this year, I want to thank George Zindilis for his year of presidency. Every president puts his own unique style on a Rotary Club, but there are a few that have a style as unique as George's. I think George has been best described using the French terminology of bon vivant. But George, you did a good job of keeping the club going and encouraging, engaging with other clubs in the cluster and cross-cluster engagement as well. especially with your involvement with the AfriAus Care organisation, has been very important in promoting them in the general family of Rotary. So now for my own plans. I have been advised at the President-elect training not to say I'm planning for my year to be a great year, as this could offend the previous president. And definitely not to say that this will be the best year ever for the club, as this will offend every past president. But I can say I intend to make this the best year that I can make it. I was previously president in the year 1999, and so led the club through to the new millennium, and so I'm used to milestones. I actually remember that changeover very well. In fact, I remember the meeting I was inducted in May 1996 and can recall my speech at that time. The essence of the speech was that I was very conscious that there were so many people in the community that are in need, and as an individual, I couldn't see how I could do anything other than the odd charitable donation. I could see that working with an organisation like Rotary, a lot could be done. What became more clear in time was that as much as Rotary clubs can do a lot more than individuals, when clubs work together in a cluster or as a whole district, we can get even more done. Every year, the incoming Rotary International President comes up with a theme for the year. When I became president in 1999, the world president was an architect, which I was very impressed with, but I could never remember the theme. It was Rotary 2000, act with consistency, credibility, continuity. And the way I could remember it was I used to wear the tie, and it's written on the bottom. And so I'm still wearing the tie tonight. This year's Rotary International President, Holger Knack, is in real estate, and his theme is Rotary Opens Opportunities. I really like this theme as it represents what I was hoping when I joined and what I have experienced since. I know when it was announced, our new District Governor, Philip Archer, was very excited. He felt this was a great coup for Australia, having a theme with an acronym ROO for the kangaroo. He thought it was very Australian, and I point out to him it's not a big deal for Australia. This is a big deal for the Rotary Club of North Melbourne, the Roos. This is our symbol. Anyhow, in fact, within weeks of joining, I was introduced to an amazing woman called Nora Kelly that our club had started supporting. She had been previously helping the work of Mother Teresa, and then started coming across children in Europe and the Middle East that had horrific deformities, and she would contact our club to help. We helped her organise airfares and doctors and hospitals and brought them over here for operations. And just prior to my changeover, we brought over 2 orphans from the Mother Teresa orphanage in Iraq that had no arms and no legs, Emmanuel and Ahmed. She taught them to be independent. They had several operations, and they fashioned bits of a hand from the remnants of a foot that they had, and they were amazing. Our club did a working bee where they lived in Kilmore, and somehow they were playing cricket. They were placed on a chair with a cricket bat somehow wedged in their armpit, and they were belting the ball all over the place. They had to hit 4s because they couldn't run. Since then, they have grown up, and Emmanuel is now an accomplished singer, having great success on Australia's X Factor, and has just released another single, Never Alone. Ahmed represented Australia multiple times in Paralympics in swimming, and in 2010, he won the Australian Championships, breaking the world 100-metre breaststroke record. My main point in mentioning this is from my experience, whilst all Rotarians are well motivated to help out with all sorts of community projects, it's when we meet with outstanding individuals like Moira, Emmanuel and Ahmed Kelly, our motivation is heightened and we become even more committed to really get involved. There are plenty of examples of motivational individuals in our Rotary district, and I include most of the past district governors in that. We have been lucky in our club. Again, in my early days, past district governor Jack Nankervis got our club, our district and the whole of Rotary International involved in an amazing international project. Jack was convinced that people that are illiterate were destined to a life of poverty. He sought out teaching systems that he took over to countries like Bangladesh and the Solomon Islands and got Rotary International to agree on trials which were successful. And each country's government embraced the program, and the net result was a huge increase in the literacy level in those countries. About a month ago, our district lost another inspirational Rotarian in Yvonne Moon, who set up the amazingly effective Rotarians Against Ovarian Cancer program. These people inspire and motivate. Kay Letson in the South Bank Rotary Club, who wouldn't accept traditional doctors' quick advice that there was no hope for her quadriplegic son, went to America and engaged with other mothers there in a similar position, and walked the entire width of the country from San Diego to Washington to spread her message under the banner of Warrior Mums. Her son probably will never fully recover, but he can walk now and he holds down a job. I also want to acknowledge a guest here tonight, Sister Dean Dwyer, who runs a Yarraville organisation called Joseph's Corner, providing counselling to families of alcohol and drug addicted people. Previously, these people didn't know where to turn, as all the support programs were for the addicts, leaving families not knowing how to handle the situation. She is a remarkable person. Like most prospective Rotarians, I was impressed by the story of ridding the world of polio. It really is a completely mind-blowing enterprise, which basically involves immunising every single child in the world, billions of children. But for me, I always had in my mind, what's the big deal about polio? It can't be that bad, because in 1990, I ran 10 kilometres a day, 6 days a week with a man with polio. And this culminated in running the Melbourne Marathon. Judy ran it as well. And he was our inspiration. Anytime you felt exhausted and you wanted to stop, you'd look at this man with one leg that was as narrow as a broomstick, and you'd know you had to keep going. I also acknowledge our President-elect, Sinab Sheikh, for her work in supporting the local Somalian community, and also for her persistence in getting the 40-foot container medical supplies to Somalia. Also to sell the Mendoza Luca for her work in helping the African community in the southeast suburbs. Their programs are very extensive and impressive, and our club will continue to support both as a club and as part of the cross-cluster group of clubs that have also committed to help. There are plenty of others too, like Stephanie Woolard and her work helping women in Tibet that began after meeting 7 disabled women working in a tin shed in Kathmandu. These 7 women were struggling to make a living with harsh discrimination. She paid for trainers to teach the women how to produce products to sale locally and abroad, and 7 women were born. And now thousands of women in Nepal have benefited by her work. These people are so important in Rotary, and we should embrace them, engage with them, and be inspired by them to ensure that we at least do our bit as well. Each of these people, when faced with a human problem, have not turned away from it. And to quote Marianne Williamson, there is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. Each of us has a unique part to play in the healing of the world. I want to mention a few specific things I want our club to be involved in this year. Firstly, our signature project each year has been the Fonstoben Volunteer of the Year Award that recognises volunteers in the community that have not previously been recognised. We usually hold it in October, but I don't want numbers to be affected by the current restrictions, So I plan to move it to early next year and upgrade it to a district level project as our centenary project. I want to continue with our unique international water filter program currently in Colombia and other parts of South and Central America, and move it over to Africa as well. I plan to do this in conjunction with any other clubs that want to be involved, as well as a club in India that AJ is watching tonight with his wife, that I have developed a relationship with. What makes this program so unique is that each water filter costs less than $100. So far, thousands of people in South America are drinking clean water using filters this club has provided. Our club has committed to host the Model United Nations Assembly this year, and we are resigned to it being a Zoom event. It will be held near the end of the year and focuses on Year 11 students that are interested in current affairs and debating. Clubs will be notified shortly about this program. But I can advise, though, from my experiences in the National Canberra unit, I know that one club that usually enters 4 teams each year is the Bateman's Bay Rotary Club. And as the National Unit is cancelled this year, and as they have been devastated by bushfires, I've now contacted that club and advised them their students are welcome to join in our district's unit. I want our club to run with the push by our new District Governor, Philip Archer, to tackle homelessness. We have not finalised a particular project, but we have some interesting ideas we are aware, and we are aware of the problem that is right on our footsteps here. We will definitely be continuing our close relationship with Osman House Facility, which is only walking distance from this venue. Another area I've committed to engaging with and helping out is with our Indigenous community. I don't mean in remote areas of Australia, I mean in our own backyard, in areas such as Fitzroy, and have already made contact with the executive of the Fitzroy Stars Youth Group. It is my commitment to help this group and my hope to seek Rotary members from this group. I welcome other club support. I will continue with the club support of the Destiny Rescue organisation that George mentioned. So far, by using their undercover workers, they have rescued 5,000 mainly girls. And once they are rescued, these girls are given schooling, training, and basically nurtured to give them a normal life. It's dangerous work, and these people that do this, and it costs on average about $1,500 for each person saved. So people that don't know our club and listen to all these goals might think that we must be a fair-sized club. Well, we have 14 members, but because we are committed Rotarians, we will get everything done. Between those in attendance tonight and watching on Zoom, about half are not Rotarians. My view is that I think they would also like to be involved in helping in some of these projects, but don't feel they can commit to joining our club. I would like to challenge anyone interested to contact me at any stage to say they would like to help in one or more of our projects, and I will find a job for you. Before I finish, I want to thank my members, not so much for electing me as their president, because I know there wasn't a big queue of other people wanting the job. But my members have been very supportive to me, and I know they will work to their utmost to help the club achieve our goals. With 24 years of Rotary, I have had quite a few Rotary moments, but this time last year was one of my best, when I was given the honour of inducting my own daughter Sally as president of the South Bank Rotary Club. And as their club have their changeover in 5 days' time, means we are both present at the same time for these 5 days. So I really am a proud Rotarian at the moment. Before I close, I want to again thank my club members for their ongoing support, especially Judy. In 10 weeks' time, we will have been married for 50 years, and so she has taken service above self to extremes. So I want to close with a poem attributed to Spike Milligan. And I don't refer to his tombstone that reads, "I told you I was sick." It's like this. Smiling is infectious. You catch it like the flu. When someone smiled at me today, I started smiling too. I passed around the corner and someone saw my grin. When he smiled, I realised I'd passed it on to him. I thought about that smile, then I realised its worth. A single smile just like mine could travel round the earth. So if you feel a smile begin, don't leave it undetected. Let's start an epidemic quick and get the world infected. So thank you, Rotarians and friends. Continue to enjoy the evening and let's move on and have a great year of service.